Well, tonight, Iran's supreme leader is dead. Missiles are in the air and the headlines, and Arkansas voters are about to have their say at the ballot box. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky shows us how the fight overseas is reshaping the fight for Congress here at home as the challengers line up to unseat Republican Congressman French Hill.
Over the weekend, U.S. and allied strikes inside Iran sparked national debate, bringing foreign policy to the forefront of the race for Congress in Arkansas's District 2.
Shock like everyone else.
Candidates vying for the District 2 congressional seat are weighing in. Chris Jones, spouse of a combat veteran, says he knows what it's like to sit on the edge of his seat, wondering if he'll get a knock at the door. He says what happened this weekend was handled the wrong way, that Congress never signed off on these attacks like they're supposed to, and if elected, he'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
We need to make certain that we are doing everything we can to protect the lives of our troops that are in harm's way and the families that are back here at home.
Jones also worries this will make the cost of living even more unaffordable than it already is.
We're seeing additional wars that they promised that they would not get us into, and we're seeing the cost of living go up as opposed to going down.
Another candidate, Chase McDowell, says with Iran falling, he worries what this means for Russia and China and believes U.S. troops should not be on the front line.
What I want to see is, first of all, no boots on the ground. I think our military is extreme. I think that we can handle these situations without putting our service members in harm. I'm very upset to find out that 5 of my service members have been killed over the weekend. It bothers me. That should not have happened.
McDowell adds he does not support regimes like Iran's leadership, known for decades of mistreating its people, and he hopes the Iranian people can come out on top.
That we can find either a monarchy or a type of a republic or a democracy that will win out, but the people of Iran have to do this.
Zach Huffman, also running for the congressional seat, calls the events in Iran highly alarming and says 2 things can be true at once. We can empathize with the people living under suppression and desire to assist them in acquiring their freedom. We can also question our own government's authority, strategy, and methods to pursue this outcome. Incumbent Congressman French Hill says for years he's condemned the brutality of the Iranian regime. He also sponsored and co-sponsored bills supporting resolutions that call for change in Iran. He said in a statement, "I pray for our service members as they carry out these operations for our allies in the region and for the Iranian people. May this be the dawn of a new day for the Iranian people and a step toward lasting peace in the Middle East." In Little Rock, Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 News.
Tanya, thank you. Rallies for and against the military action broke out in places around the country. Many Iranians living here in the U.S. celebrated the news of the Supreme Leader's death, but also said they have concerns for the future because they don't know what's coming next. Those same concerns showed up in financial and commodity markets today. The benchmark price of crude oil rose almost 7% amid questions over how long the Strait of Hormuz in and out of the Gulf may be closed. And with that in mind, President Trump said that it'll likely take 4 to 5 weeks for the U.S. to reach its goals in Iran, but warned it could take longer. Earlier in the day, he told the New York Post he will not rule out sending ground troops into Iran if necessary. And so far, 6 service members have been killed in action. Those updates coming this afternoon. Olivia Rinaldi reports as the Trump administration's National Security Council meets with top lawmakers this evening.
Crews sifted through the rubble of a police station in Tehran Monday as the U.S. and Israel continue to pound Iran with missiles.
This was our last best chance to strike.
In his first live comment since the military operation against Iran began, President Trump said the U.S. will take as long as needed to remove the threat of Iran's ballistic missiles and its nuclear program.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
Iran and its allies struck back immediately. Smoke could be seen rising from the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, and several locations inside Israel were also hit. At a Pentagon briefing on Monday, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed the first U.S. casualties.
It happened to hit a tactical operations center that was fortified, but these are powerful weapons.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs said there may be more casualties.
We will work to minimize U.S. losses, but as the Secretary said, this is major combat operations.
The Pentagon also confirmed that Kuwait shot down 3 U.S. F-15 jets in what they're calling a friendly fire incident. All 6 crew members survived. President Trump's GOP allies here on Capitol Hill have praised the U.S. military strikes on Iran, while some Democrats have blasted the administration for not consulting Congress first.
There needs to be a plan, and we need to know what the objectives are, and we need to know what the long-term exit strategy is.
The House and Senate are scheduled to get an all-members briefing tomorrow. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, at least 555 people in Iran have been killed so far in the U.S.-Israeli campaign. According to the Iranian Red Crescent Society, 11 people in Israel have also been killed.